The bright lights in the grocery store felt too strong for my tired eyes as I stood at the checkout, trying not to rush while using my EBT card. My 3-year-old daughter, Emma, sat quietly in the cart, holding a box of plain cereal we had chosen together. The cashier didn't say a word and treated me with respect, but that familiar feeling of embarrassment still crept in. "Mommy, can we get cookies next time?" Emma asked softly. "Maybe next time," I replied, even though I knew next time would probably look just like today. Careful budgeting, counting every dollar, choosing between fresh fruit or meat, and stretching one pot of pasta across several meals had become normal life. Then I heard my name. "Jennifer." I froze. I turned and saw my grandmother standing just a few feet away holding a small wire basket. She was wearing her Sunday coat even though it was only Thursday. Her face shifted from surprise to concern. "Grandma," I said quietly, still holding the card. "I didn't know you shopped here." "I come here for soup bones," she said. "They're cheaper than Safeway." Her eyes moved from me to the card in my hand, then to Emma. "Honey, are you using food stamps?" She didn't sound cruel, but the question still hurt. I nodded, unable to speak. Her forehead creased. "But what about the money I've been sending you? The $200 every month. That should at least help with groceries." The room felt unsteady. "What money?" I asked. Her expression changed instantly. "The checks. I've sent you $200 on the first of every month since Emma was born. Sometimes more for birthdays and Christmas." My mouth went dry. "Grandma, I've never received any checks. Not even one." She grabbed my arm, shocked. "That can't be right. I've sent 24 checks. I have copies in my checkbook." Everything around me faded. 2 full years of help I never knew existed. Money that could have meant fresh food instead of canned meals. Heat in the winter instead of extra blankets. A sense of dignity instead of standing there with that card. "Where did you send them?" I asked. "To your mother's house," she said. "You were staying there when Emma was born. She said she'd make sure you got them." Suddenly, everything made sense. I had moved out of my mother's home a 1.5 years ago, barely affording a tiny apartment. But even before that, I had never seen a single check. "I need to go," I said calmly. "Will you come to Sunday dinner at Mom's house?" Grandma nodded. "I'll be there." The next few days passed quickly. The very next morning, I went to the post office with Emma because I couldn't afford childcare. I explained everything to the clerk, who listened carefully. She told me that mail forwarding requires the recipient's signature. If someone redirects your mail without permission, it's a federal crime. "Can you check if anything was filed?" I asked. After a long wait, she came back with a serious look. "There's a forwarding order from 2 years ago," she said. "It was filed from your mother's address and keeps your mail there. The signature doesn't match your ID." My hands shook as she handed me the paperwork. It was official mail forwarding authorization. My mother's handwriting. A poor attempt at copying my signature. 2 full years of mail fraud. "What do I do now?" I asked. "You can file a complaint with the Postal Inspection Service," she said. "This is mail theft and fraud." That night, after Emma fell asleep, I called my grandmother and told her everything. There was a long silence. Then she said firmly, "Bring those papers to Sunday dinner. I want to see her face when you show them." Sunday came cold and gray. I dressed Emma in her nicest hand-me-down dress. The documents sat in my purse, along with bank statements showing how my balance never rose above $300. Proof of what had really been happening all along. While I struggled to survive, my mother had been quietly cashing the checks meant for me. Her house looked exactly the same as it always had. Fresh paint, a perfectly trimmed lawn, a newer car parked in the driveway. She always said everything came from her job at the medical billing company. Standing there now, I couldn't help but wonder how much of that comfort was paid for with money taken from her own daughter. Jennifer, she said brightly as she opened the door. And Emma, come here, sweetheart. I let her hug Emma and watched closely. She played the part well. The loving grandmother. The concerned mother who would sometimes hand me $20 and tell me I needed to manage my money better. Grandma arrived 10 minutes later. Her jaw was tight, a look I remembered from childhood. It meant someone was in serious trouble. We sat around the dining table. My mother had cooked pot roast, my favorite growing up. The irony didn't escape me. This looks lovely, Patricia, Grandma said calmly. I just wanted to make something nice for family dinner, my mother replied as she served the plates. We ate in silence. Emma chatted happily about preschool, unaware of what was happening around her. I barely tasted my food. Then Grandma put down her fork. Patricia, I ran into Jennifer at the grocery store on Thursday. My mother froze halfway through a bite. Oh? She was using food assistance, Grandma continued, buying basic cereal and the cheapest meat she could find. My mother nodded carefully. Times are hard for young mothers. I help when I can. That's interesting, Grandma said. Because I've been sending Jennifer $200 every month for the past 2 years to help with those exact expenses. The color drained from my mother's face. There must be some confusion, she said quickly. There isn't, I said as I reached into my purse. I placed the folder on the table and spread out the papers. The mail forwarding forms. The dates. The signature that wasn't mine. I went to the post office, I said evenly. You filed paperwork to keep my mail sent here. Every check Grandma mailed you kept. You cashed them while I was stretching pasta for days. My mother's mouth opened, then closed. I was holding on to the money for you. Saving it. Then where is it? Grandma asked sharply. Where is the savings account? Where is the $4,800? The number hung heavy in the air. 2 full years of support. Almost $5,000. Taken from a struggling single mother by her own parent. I had expenses, my mother began. You don't understand how much it costs to keep this house. Stop, I said. The room went still. The post office explained this is mail fraud, I continued. Forging a signature is a crime. Taking money meant for someone else is theft. Her face fell, but I felt nothing. No anger. No relief. Just exhaustion. I have a 3-year-old daughter, I said. There were nights I watered down her milk. I signed up for every assistance program I could find. I donated plasma for grocery money. And every month, you took $200 that was meant to help us survive. Grandma pulled an envelope from her purse. These are copies of every check I sent. My bank confirmed they were all cashed. I want to see your bank statements, Patricia. You can't just demand that, my mother protested. I can, Grandma said firmly, when the alternative is calling the police right now. The silence stretched. Emma stopped eating, sensing something was wrong. My mother stood up and left the room. She came back minutes later with her laptop, her hands shaking. She opened her bank account. There they were. Deposits of $200, every single month. Sometimes more. The holiday extras Grandma had mentioned. I was going to give it back, my mother whispered. I just needed to borrow it. For 2 years? I asked. While I was on food assistance? While I took Emma to free clinics because I couldn't afford a doctor? Grandma leaned forward. You have 2 options. You write Jennifer a check for the full amount right now, with interest. Or I contact the postal inspector tomorrow and file a federal report. That's unfair, my mother said weakly. No, Grandma replied. That's me giving you one last chance to fix what you did. My mother's hand shook as she picked up her checkbook. The pen scraped across the paper. $5,000. Not $4,800, but $5,000. A small penalty, Grandma called it. She tore the check from the book and slid it across the table toward me. I picked it up and stared at the number. It represented 2 full years of hardship that never should have happened. I want you to understand something, I said quietly. I'm not taking this money and pretending everything is okay. This doesn't erase what you did. You watched your own granddaughter go without while you took what wasn't yours. That choice defines you. Jennifer, please, my mother began. I'm not finished, I said, my voice steady. I'm still filing a report with the post office. This check doesn't undo the crime. They need to know, especially in case you've done this before. She went pale. And you won't be seeing Emma anymore, I continued. Not alone. Maybe not at all. I can't trust someone around my child who would steal from her future. Grandma stood and picked up her purse. I'll be changing how I support Jennifer from now on. Direct deposit only. An account only she controls. And Patricia, you're not welcome in my home until you show real change. Not excuses. Not apologies. Real change. We left together. Emma walked between us, holding both our hands. My mother stayed behind, sitting alone at the table, surrounded by the dinner she cooked and the family she broke. The check cleared 3 days later. I paid off overdue utility bills first. Then I bought Emma new shoes that actually fit, fresh fruit, proper meals, and yes, I bought the cookies she had asked for. The following week, a postal inspector called me in for an interview. She was calm and professional, with kind eyes and a serious tone. She explained that even though the money was repaid, the crime still mattered. We take mail fraud very seriously, she said. Your mother will likely face federal charges. I understand, I replied. Does that trouble you? She asked gently. I thought about Emma smiling when I bought her favorite cereal without checking the price. About keeping the heat at a normal temperature instead of bundling up at night. About 2 years of struggle caused by someone who should have protected me. She made her choices, I said. I'm just making sure there are consequences. After that, Grandma started coming to my apartment for dinner. She always arrived with groceries, claiming she bought too much. The direct deposits came on time every month. For the first time in Emma's life, I opened a savings account in her name. 3 months later, my mother was officially charged with mail fraud and forgery. She accepted a plea deal. Probation, restitution, community service, and a federal conviction. No jail time, but permanent consequences. She called once, crying and asking for forgiveness. I told her I needed time, maybe years, maybe forever. Some betrayals don't heal just because someone says sorry. Now, I watch Emma play with toys I can finally afford to buy new. She doesn't remember those hard days. She'll never know what it felt like to hear her mother cry quietly over unpaid bills. That's what my grandmother's help was meant to prevent. And now, finally, it does.